Hey, so time. I totally resonate with the idea that I just don't have time for my yoga practice, for the beginner's course, for the membership. I just don't find enough time, and I'm worried that I won't make use of it. I totally understand that. I think we all feel like we don't have enough time in the day, in the week, in the month to get everything done. And the older I get, the more I think that saying that the days are long, but the years are short makes so much sense, right? Because we're busy, busy, busy all of the time. But what I also have come to realize and see in my own life is the idea of alignment, and that where we spend our time really does reflect our priorities. And so, what I usually start with, even in my own experience, when I'm feeling like I don't have enough time for blank, and the blank, the fill in the blank is something that I want to do. I want to have time for that. And so I take a step back and I look at where I'm spending my time. Okay, I'm not thinking, I'm not feeling like I'm having enough time for this thing that I want. Well, where am I spending my time? What am I reflecting my priorities to be? And where am I spending time that I don't want to be, or I don't need to be spending that much time doing? And I can carve out some time for this other priority to really reflect and align for myself really what I want to be doing and when and how and where and all of those things. For example, I have always been a scrapbooker, which means I'm always perpetually behind in my scrapbooking, right? Anyone who scrapbooks, I think, is never caught up. But I was falling further and further behind in my scrapbooking for my kids. And I realized, like, I want to scrapbook, like, I want to have more time for that. And so I took a step back and I said, where am I spending time that could be spent here? And over the past few months, I have found more time to do that. And I have made really good progress. And it feels more in alignment for me. Now, this is never going to be perfect, right? I always think of it as a juggling act, not a finding a balance. That idea of finding a balance of work and life, I don't subscribe to that. I think it's always a juggle that's always shifting. And sometimes in life, we're going to have moments or months or a period where our priorities turn and are shifted somewhere else. And that makes sense, right? If there's a health issue or something very important at work that comes up, like sometimes there will be things that become glass balls when you're juggling. You can't drop that one. It's the most important. And so, yes, that is definitely the case. And I think we need to be okay with that and cut ourselves some slack, that we're not always going to have this perfect alignment of our priorities and our time. But when we are kind of in that quote unquote kind of normal time, normal life or schedule, that's where I really think we need to sit back and reflect and decide, what do I want to spend my time on? If I feel like I don't have time for blank, do I want to have time for blank? Is that really something that I want to make time to do or to learn or to focus on? And then, okay, when and where and how could that look? And the brilliant part about my online offerings is that they can fit into your schedule. So everybody has a different schedule, different needs, that it's like, you know what, over lunch or right after lunch, I have kind of this downtime, this break period, or you know what, I could get up 10 minutes earlier and build some yoga into my morning practice. Or you know what, when I first get home, everybody's always busy doing their homework, doing their whatever. I can make time then. And the other tip that I have, so if you decide, yes, yoga is something that I need, I feel better, it's a priority, I need to do this practice for myself, for my own health, and you decide that it's going to fit into your schedule, I have a few tips for you. Number one, make kind of a goal or an intention or a mantra, something that you can remind yourself of as to why this is a priority for you. Why are you deciding that I want to do this? And frame it in something short, present tense, and positive, right? I am worth it, right? 10 minutes I can do, right? Something like that. And depending on what resonates with you, sometimes people will say, like a mantra, kind of repeating that to yourself. I sometimes like a visual. So maybe even a Post-it note on your mirror when you're getting up in the morning to remind yourself, that's right. Yoga is a priority, something like that, right? And that you look at every day. Some people really benefit from writing their goal or their intention down every day in their planner, in a notebook, on a Post-it note, wherever, right? As a reminder that this is true, and giving yourself that permission on a daily basis for the priorities you've decided to set. Additionally, with my beginners course specifically, you don't have to consume this whole course within a week. The course you have lifetime access to. You can come back, you can look at the videos one at a time so that it can be these short pockets of time. This does not have to be some huge commitment you are making on a daily basis. In fact, I usually recommend, as another tip, to start by trying to fit this in once a week, a 15-minute, maybe a 20 or 30-minute window once a week. And starting with that, because it's easier to build when you start getting some momentum, or you start seeing some results, or you start feeling better, than to try to say, I'm going to yoga every day, and then feel like you didn't reach that goal. But if you start with, okay, once a week, you can look at your calendar for the coming week and decide and write it in as an appointment. Wednesday at noon over lunch, I'm going to watch this video. I'm going to practice this video. And you build it into your schedule like any other appointment. Appointments with yourself are just as important as appointments with other people. Don't let yourself undermine these appointments with yourself. I'll show you the course just to show you what this looks like when you join the beginners course. You can start here, or you can even scroll down and see there are 47 lessons. You don't have to complete all of them at once, or in 1 week, or even in 1 month, right? You can take your time, and they are split up into different modules. I have some fundamentals to talk about, breath work, which is a practice on its own. There are several different warm-up practices that you can come back to and enjoy again and again. One of my favorite modules is about sun salutations and the different variations. Common poses. There are a ton of videos I'll show you in a moment that break down pose by pose. There are practice flows that you get to enjoy. There's also a little special bonus here in the last module. So make sure when you get in there that you check that out. It's a pretty big value, actually. But if you come and look at common poses, here you can see all of the videos for the different poses, and it goes on to a second page. And so you can practice and decide, okay, next week I want to learn about pigeon. I've always heard about pigeon. I'm not sure I'm doing pigeon right, or I'm not sure what it means. And you can come in and you can click on it and you can look and see how long it is. Okay, that 10 minutes, right? Okay, so tomorrow over lunch, I'm going to watch pigeon. It's only 10 minutes. Also see that this last one in here is one of my favorite flows. It's a 43-minute yoga practice, but I also teach you about transitions. So maybe you decide some weekend, I'm going to do this 43-minute one, right? And you can come back and see and practice these again and again. If I come back out, it is a comprehensive course. So yes, by the time you go through all of it, it will take quite a bit of time, but you don't have to do it all at once. You get to space this out, pace yourself, come back to it, bookmark it in your computer. You can download the Kajabi app for all of your devices, because you can access this on any device so that it's ready and it's convenient when it works for you. 10 minutes a week. You can find 10 minutes a week to dedicate to feeling better. You deserve to feel your best. And if starting this yoga practice, if doing this course is what will make you feel better, you deserve that. I look forward to welcoming you into the course and seeing you soon.